call the member for Morani.
I have a great honour in representing the an electorate that is a home to one of the most beautiful regions in Queensland, Youngla National Park and the lovely Pioneer Valley. The people who live there had their world turned upside down on the 28th of December 2022 when the Queensland Premier announced the government's plan for building the world's largest pumped hydro scheme right on their doorstep. To my knowledge, not a single minister or anyone else connected with the government bothered to visit Youngla or the proposed location of this project before committing $12 billion, not even the Uwe Borough people, the traditional owners of that area, towards tearing that whole area up. If they had, they would have seen this lush rolling fields and precious subtropical rainforests, the fragile ecosystems that is home to many of Queensland's endangered species. I even asked the Environment Minister this morning, and I will be writing to her and asking her to come up and have a look at just what they propose. They have seen the majestic mountain top that will have its top blown to smithereens and its insides hollowed out for giant pipelines and its vegetation cleared for the network of roads needed to service this gigantic project. Speaker, Youngla National Park is one of the jewels in the crown for Queensland's beauty, biodiversity and tourism. Now the whole community is being hit with a swarm of Queensland hydro bureaucrats from Brisbane trying to tell them what to do, while they themselves refuse to answer any of the residents' most basic questions about the project. People are being pressured to sell their homes with a deadline for these acquisitions of this month, and many are being threatened with compulsory acquisition if they refuse to do so. And this needs to stop now. So does this whole project, frankly. Has the government even bothered to look at the alternatives? You know, we've got all the cogen. Pumped hydro is an old technology. Australia's 3 biggest pumped hydro plants were built over 40 years ago. All 3 only ever operated infrequently and sometimes not at all for years at a time. What was really shocking to me was when we last went to the meetings with Queensland Hydro and they presented maps with a lower reservoir, Plan B, another area, another valley that they planned on damming up and actually making that part of this whole system. And there's a reason for that, and no one's being straight up front with that. When you put all the transmission lines and everything in that area and spend that much money to transmit that much power, you're going to use the rest of those valleys to transmit more power and to use that infrastructure. Someone's not telling the truth here. Why were those maps dragged out of my hands, just about, and why were they taken off the table so that the locals couldn't take them home to scrutinise what was actually going on and what the government had planned? Oh no, they're the wrong maps, we were told. What a shame, an absolute shame to the people. First we never got told at all, now there's stuff that they're introducing that we don't even know that's going to happen. Shame. That's a disgrace to these people. Experts I've spoken with have said there are a number of insurmountable environmental and technical issues with this project. Its cost alone, they say, will be astronomical. It'll blow out, no doubt. Even Rod Welford, the former Labor Minister for Natural Resources and the Environment, has issued a warning on the scale of investment and the significant risk of cost blowouts. And Rod was there when everything was happening in the Finch-Hatton Gorge. And the proposed Reservoir B, the lower Reservoir B, is actually in Sunini's Road, which actually goes into one of our other little areas, which is called Killarney. Then right next door to that is Finch-Hatton Gorge. These places are known throughout the world. Beautiful ecosystems with rare birds, rare frogs and natural platypus that occur in the area. And this is what they're looking at doing. Sticking all their infrastructure up in these beautiful areas while the city folk don't understand exactly what this means and what a cost is. Offset documents do not offset the cost of what actually is there. These places have their own personality, just like we do, and you can offset as much as you like, but you will never replace what you take away from what we're about to do. Trust me on that. I know, we grew up there. There's a lot we don't know about this project, like what is the exact footprint of this infrastructure and what is the size of the power stations, the cables and the infrastructure. Because I know for one thing, you don't put something in there and spend that much money and then don't expand on it later, because you're not going to build 2 or 3 of them in that area. That area there has got the opportunity to be able to expand on, and trust me, when the government sees that, generally they go about doing that. That's the sad part about it. The map that I seen with the lower Reservoir B tells me that there's something more going on. The people of Youngla want to know. They want their future secured.
Deputy Speaker.